Hello everybody, thank you for taking the time to learn about where to mount your subscriber. Today we're going to go over some tips on how to find a good location to mount your subscriber and how to make sure you know the subscriber is going to work before going through all the hassle of mounting it on the wall. First things first, the subscriber needs to be mounted in a climate-controlled room above 32 degrees Fahrenheit and below 122 degrees Fahrenheit in a secured area. We suggest mounting the subscriber away from the alarm control panel as the power supplies generate RFI or radio frequency interference. We also suggest mounting it as high as possible in the room for better radio performance, but please keep in mind you do not need to mount the subscriber up on the top of the room. You can use our 7214 EMK kit to remote the antenna while keeping the subscriber at eye level. We always try the rubber duck first to see if the subscriber can communicate with that before moving on to the larger DB antennas. Here are a few things to avoid when looking for a location to mount your subscriber. AES recommends no metal within 18 inches of the AES subscriber antenna. Power supplies also generate radio frequency interference. AES recommends putting the subscriber on the right hand of the fire alarm panel because most fire alarm manufacturers put the power supply on the left hand side. Anything generating an electrical arc or draws large amounts of current will generate radio frequency interference. Here are a few tips on picking a good location to mount the subscriber. We want as little metal as possible between the subscriber and the outside world, as close to an external wall as possible. All of the antenna radials ground planes must be free and clear of the wall. If the IntelliPro, the 7794 or the 7794A for 2.0 subscribers is installed, the subscriber must be within 20 feet of conduit from the fire panel and within the same room. Keep the subscriber as close to the antenna as possible. The longer the cable, the less signal. Over 100 feet of 9913 low-loss coax cable, the subscriber will lose 50% of its signal, so it's important to keep that cable as short as possible. There are a few steps I want you to take before mounting the subscriber on the wall to make sure we know it's going to work before going through all the hassle. First, when you arrive at the site, I want you to take the subscriber out of the box while at your truck, plug in the antenna and then the battery, we don't want to smoke the transmitter, and try to get a signal in the parking lot. Make sure you're outside of your truck as your truck is a metal can, but if you can't get a signal in the parking lot, it's probably not going to get a lot better once you go into the building. When you get to the room where the subscriber will be located, once again, make sure to plug in the battery for the subscriber and try to find a location where you can get Netcon 5 in 5 minutes, as well as the WA light going on and off in 5 to 10 seconds. We'll talk more about the WA light in a second. Keep the moves of the subscriber small. If there's a metal stud behind the wall where you're mounting the subscriber, just moving it 8 inches to the left or right can make a very big difference. Every time you move the location of the antenna, please hit the reset button on the subscriber to flush out the old information and allow the subscriber to build a new routing table. We want to check the WA light as well as make sure we get Netcon 5 in 5 minutes to make sure that your subscriber can hear as well as talk with its radio peer. If you want to initiate a transmission, you can just hit the reset button. When you do, the transmitting light will show transceiver is sending the radio signal. After the transmission is done, the RX and WA light will go on. The WA stands for waiting for acknowledgement. How long it takes for that WA light to go on and off is the amount of time it takes for your subscriber to send a signal to its peer and then get the acknowledgement back. We want this to take no more than 5 or 10 seconds. If it takes more than that, you might want to consider moving the subscriber to a different location. AES recommends using the stealth antenna, the 7211, to find the exact location of where to put the AES antenna and generally the subscriber, unless you're remoting the antenna. If you are planning on using the rubber duck antenna, you can use that as well. The stealth just makes it easier to test different locations. The stealth antenna is the only AES antenna that doesn't utilize ground planes. Any other antenna would need to have the ground planes installed or be installed on the top of the subscriber for an accurate test. Now that we've given you some tips on where to install your AES subscriber, let's look at some other installations we've seen in the past. What's wrong with this installation? I'll give you a few seconds to come up with the answer. For those of you that said it's installed outside in a non-climate controlled room, that is correct. A couple other issues we have are the surge protector is in the bottom of the case, not installed, and then all of the coiled coax here as well. How about this installation? What do you think is wrong with this location? I'll give you a couple of seconds to answer. One issue is we have a metal conduit pipe running right behind the antenna that is definitely closer than 18 inches. The other one is we have a high voltage junction box right here. So this is going to generate radio frequency interference, which might interfere with the transmission of the radio signal from the subscriber. Alright, last one. What's wrong with this subscriber location? I'll give you a few seconds to answer on your own. Okay, we actually have the antennas are touching the metal sprinkler pipe on both of these subscribers, as well as the power running right behind the antenna. These issues are significantly affecting your signal strength. Let's recap what we've talked about today. First, we want to test the subscriber in the parking lot outside of your truck. Your truck is a metal can that the radio will not transmit well out of. We want to see if there's signal in the parking lot, because if there's no signal in the parking lot, it's not going to get any better when you go in the building. When in the room where the subscriber will go, use the subscriber to find a location that works before mounting the subscriber on the wall. Make sure you're able to get Netcon 5 in 5 minutes, and check how long it takes for the W-Wave light to go on and off. It should be 5 to 10 seconds, otherwise find a new location. Every time you move the location of the subscriber, please power cycle the subscriber. If connecting the subscriber to the dialer on the fire alarm panel, the subscriber needs to be within 20 feet of conduit of the fire alarm panel and in the same room. Thank you very much for taking the time today to learn about how to mount your subscriber. If you have any additional questions, please contact us at tech support. The number will follow shortly, and have a great day.